What's up guys, Mel here back in the studio, and today I will be going over my FLP of the Brooks remix of Lost Frequencies, Don't Leave Me Now. Now I started this project a couple weeks ago and I haven't gotten around to it because I've been busy with some other projects, but I'm really stoked actually with how this came out. It's not like 100%, but it's pretty close. I think it might be up there with one of my best remakes. Anyway, you guys have already heard the preview of the track, so without further ado, let's jump into the project and find out how I did all the sound design and all that good stuff. Okay, so starting off with the lead, as you can see, I have a top lead layer, I have a bottom lead layer, which is just kind of some supporting elements, and then I have under that a couple of sort of little one-shots and reverses. So let's jump into this top layer. I'm just gonna turn off all these other things. This consists of, I think 4 or 5 layers I made in Serum as well as Silent. Here's the first one. The interesting thing about this one is it has a lot of sustain on it, but I actually added this LFO which controls the cutoff, so it gives this kind of like rounded, I don't know how to explain it, but this kind of fat, distorted sound. So that's sort of the main lead. Then we come down here and I have this bit more like chorusy, weird, wobbly, vocal almost sounding one. This is actually a preset that I sort of altered from my soundbank. I have another preset from my soundbank that again I sort of changed a couple things around, but I think those are all the Serum layers. Then we jump down here to Silent 1. I have this sort of whistle lead, this kind of whistle lead that ends up playing sort of an octave higher, so you get that more high end in the lead. And then finally we have this last lead, which is pretty much like an init. It's distorted, it's like a saw with some white noise distorted together. Creates this, I don't know, it's just this like very pleasant sound. I'm just gonna put this into the pattern and they all sound like this together. Under the main lead we have this lead which only comes in specific parts. It sounds like this. I think this consists of, yep, just 3. I used some of my presets that I created for the Boomerang remake. That's the first one. That's the second one, and I actually used this little vocal shot for the third layer. So those are the 2 sort of main layers for the lead. Now the thing that really makes this pop out is these little reverses and sort of things to the side. So the first one is this. And that is just, I bounced out the lead and reversed it, and that just sort of sucks you into the second part here. Then the second thing that really makes this lead pop out is this part here. Literally the same thing, I just bounced out one of the lead sounds to audio, reversed it here, and then did some panning automation and some tiny bit of little pitch automation here. Without the pitch automation it sounds like this. A little bit boring, and then so you can see just these little tiny simple tricks really add up, and that's pretty much the lead. Okay, moving on to the chords. These chords are actually pretty low in the mix. I just wanted to add them for some frequency support. I didn't really want them to stand out. I tried to just match it up with the original mix. This chords consist of 3 layers, and these are just all layers that I built out in Silent from init presets. This is the first one. Kind of this cutoff synth with a little bit of distortion, kind of giving this wah-wah sort of sound. This is the second one I created. Pretty much like an init saw, just a little bit of detune and also a little bit more release, so it kind of tails off at the end and is a bit more soft than just that harsh cutoff without any release. And then this last one is a bit more detuned. And also pretty centered, so it kind of adds maybe more body to the lead. It kind of supports the lead pretty well. The other thing that I've added here is this little tiny reverse. Again, I just bounced out some of the audio from the chords. And this is actually, I think I have maybe 2 layers playing, or maybe just 1. Yep, just 1 layer. This is actually a piano that I grabbed from Nexus. It's literally just this tiny notes here and just adds essentially like a kind of percussive hit. Let me just play this without and then with. Where's this with? Doesn't seem like it would make a big difference, but in the track it just adds more rhythm and really makes the whole melody sort of stand out. Okay, let's talk about bass, the famous Brooks bass that everyone wants to get. This consists of sort of 3 layers, if you will. The first layer is the main bass line, sort of the mid basses, and I literally, I just went through my entire sound bank and just picked a bunch of random sounds. And the nice thing about the sound bank that I've created is that's sort of what I meant it to be, is you can just kind of go through and grab the presets one after another, and they should all fit together fairly well to add up to one big layer. I'll just go through a few of them really quickly. These purple ones here are all silent 1, and then we jump down into these sort of more aggressive ones with Serum. And all together they sound like this. So that's sort of the main sound of the bass, and then of course we have a sub down here, which is, I think it's just a basic sub that I have in Silent. I pretty much always use Silent for the bass, or for the sub bass. The thing that really makes this stand out is these little sort of bass hits. These are all just from a sample pack. I think, yeah, this is like a Leviathan bass and just a couple different things. And these sound like this. Just these tiny little short notes here too. Here's a reverse one. And just stuff like that. So again, just like this piano that I talked about with the chords, doesn't seem like this would make a bigger of a difference, but it really just adds these sort of almost percussive hits and makes a huge difference to the actual rhythm. So here's without those things, versus here is adding them back. And also over here, without versus with. Tiny little details like that are really the things that make a track sound okay and really turn it to make it sound awesome and just make it totally pop out. Okay, for drums, nothing too crazy. It's house track, so we have 4 on the floor, a kick drum, we have claps, I have some reverse claps here, and then there's just some percussions and snares. So, oh, and of course some white noise as well. I'm just gonna start playing this and I'll start just adding in the elements. Here's the kick. Got the clap here. Got some snares. And then we can also add in these little percussions. Then we have some rides coming in. And finally, in the end, we actually have this little, it's just a simple shaker loop I've created. And it sounds like this on top of the drums. Pretty basic stuff overall. Anyway guys, that is the track. I don't think I missed anything. If I did, let me know down in the comments. As always, you can get this FLP. It will be available in the description, and I'll also try to remember to put a link in one of the comments, in a pinned comment. But yeah, you can check out the project, find all my mixing and mastering and all that stuff. I really hope you like this remake, and of course we will do one full playthrough at the very end of this video. So without further ado, here's the playthrough. Hope you guys enjoyed. I will catch you back in the next video. See ya.